Hey guys, it's Trey once again back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be continuing on with, you guessed it, loops. All right, so in the last video, we talked about the standard way of writing a loop. So basically just a declaration of the loop in more standard terms, this length and this I++. In today's video, we're going to be taking a step back from our for loops and we're going to go into while loops. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will comment our for loop out. We're going to scroll down and get into our while loops. All right, so now I have uncommented our while loop. So as you can see here, we still have our array. I just called this one while array, but it's still pretty much the same array, 10, 20, 30. All right, and a while loop is different from a for loop in the way that it's established. It is not different in what it does. It will do the same thing that a for loop will do. It's just really a different way of writing it. All right. And why you use one or the other just depends on your use case of what's going on, what data you have, and stuff like that. All right. So the main difference in a while loop is the way that you declare one. So as we can see, it's kind of similar to a for loop as far as just having a keyword first. So we, instead of for, we put while. Then we open our parentheses. And then in here, the only thing we need to put is a stop condition. Okay. So while this condition is true, we will be running the loop. Once this condition becomes false, we leave the loop. Okay. So with a for loop, we had the initialization of the value, then we had the stop condition, and then we had the increment condition, right? Here, when we're declaring a while loop, the only thing we need is a stop condition, all right? If you look at the line above it, we declared our initial variable right here. So this while count is our initial variable. So if we go back and look at our for loop, remember we did our initial variable here, and then we did our stop condition here. Well, here in a while loop, we declare the stop condition. We have to have our initial variable declared somewhere else, which here I just declared it right above the while loop. And then as far as our increment value goes, we have to put that inside of our while loop, okay? So that's what it is here. So at the end of, before we end our loop, we increment. All right. So it's pretty much the same thing. Let's go ahead and go through it. So we start off with our initial value at 0. So this is equivalent to our I in the last video. So a matter of fact, I'm actually going to change this to I just to make it a little bit easier to compare to the last one. Okay. So I've changed that to I. Now this should make it a little bit easier to compare to this guy. All right. So here's our initial right here. Same thing. Then we have our i's less than our array, which is right here. I less than our array length. And then our I plus plus up here. Our I plus plus is here. So same components, different way to write it. Okay. So let's walk through the code and see what's actually happening. How does this actually do this stuff multiple times? Okay. All right. So let's just start at the top at 23. So 23, we declare our array. 10, 20, 30 has 3 values. Then we declare our initial variable that's going to keep track of what position we're at, either 0, 1, or 2. And then we declare our while loop. We put our stop condition here, which is as long as I is less than while array.length, which in our case is 3. All right. And then we add 1, same way we did up here. This is the exact same code, just a different variable name, but it's still an array. All right. So same thing. And if you haven't seen what this is doing, go back and watch the old videos. All right. And then the last thing here we have is our I++. All right, so this is basically incrementing I by 1. So when we start off at 0, it'll go to 1. When we get to 1, it'll go up to 2. All right. So now let's trace this code and see what's happening. So declare array, declare our initial variable that's going to keep track of our position. And then we're going to say while I is less than while array. So let's go ahead and do this. So I is 0. 0 is less than while array.length, which is 3. So 0 is less than 3. So since this is true, we're going to do the stuff that is inside of these two curly braces, which is these two statements here. So this is true. We go in, we say while array 0, because right now I is equal to 0. So that's this position, position 0. And then we're assigning the value of position 0 plus 1. All right. So that'll be 10 plus 1 is 11. So this will equate to 11. And we're setting that to position 0. So now 11 will be the value for position 0. Once we do this statement, we move down to the next statement, which is I plus plus, which means we take I, which is 0 at this moment, and we add 1 to it, which will make I equal to 1. All right. Then we touch the end of the loop. So that means we go back up to the top and we check the stop condition again. And we see that I is now 1. Is 1 less than 3? It is. So we're going to go inside of the loop. And we are going to set position 1 right here to whatever the value of position 1 is, which is 20. And then we're adding 1 to that. So it'll be 21. So we're setting 21 to position 1. All right. And then once we finish this statement, we move down to the next statement, I plus plus. So now I is equal to 2 because we're adding 1 to 1, which makes it 2. And then we reach the bottom of the loop. So we go back up to the top and check the stop condition once again. Is 2 less than 3? It sure is. We go in, position 2. The value at position 2, which is 30, plus 1, which makes that 31. So we assign 31 to position 2 in this array, which is right here. And then we move down to the next line. We say I plus plus. So that means we want to add 1 to I. I is currently 2. We add 1. That's 3. So now at this point, after this line, I is going to equal 3. We get here to the bottom of the loop. We go up. We check to see is I, which is 3, less than while array.length, which we can tell is 3. It's 3 values in here. So is 3 less than 3? No, that is false. So we don't go do this loop anymore. We go past the loop down here, and then we log our array out. All right. So this array will be the same as last time. It'll be 11, 21, 31. All right. So let's run this to make sure so I can prove to you guys that that is what's happening. I'm going to say node pf lesson 5.js 11, 21, 31. There we go. And that's pretty much it for this one. It's pretty much the same thing as a for loop, just written a different way. In the next video, we're going to go over the do while loop. All right. So it's pretty much very similar to this, but there's one little difference in that one. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next video.